Bulgaria coins.
Hello, and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Before we jump in the action, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. All of those things do help us out tremendously. If you're interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. Lastly, if you're interested in joining any of our games, we have 2 open slots available in the Tuesday early group. We're trying to fill those up so we can, keep playing and having a bunch of really fun time in a low-level campaign. In addition to that... Wait, no, we don't have any other open slots anymore, right? No, we don't. So, if you are interested in those, be sure to reach out. Let me know. So, Adendu, what happened last session?
Last session, within the manor that we were at, the party continued to venture forward and found through magical means there was a door that was off. So, like any good adventuring party, they went to investigate, and once there, it seems to be another gateway to a different demi-plane. In such, there was this singularity within the middle of this chasm of the room, with a enemy on the other side, who was named at the time Lord Morgrim the Lichbound. With shenanigans of manipulation and mind magic, the singularity as well as an obstacle, the living party members couldn't get too close without getting an effect that would alter their minds or abilities. Why the constructs and undead of the party were able to match the persistence of Bound. We were able to capture him, and through an hour couple were able to get some of his secrets with various of looking through and taking magical items and preparing for what is to come.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead if you had more.
In the end, we were able to defeat this and go on the way of taking them prisoner, I believe. I don't think we killed them, because it was a lich and we didn't want to kill them because it would have just go back to its phylactery. So the party took them in, where they then processed him. Yes, to the
Lyceum.
Lyceum, thank you. I don't remember much after that.
So, after returning, you all find word that the other group has discerned a much more accurate, pinpointed time that Trent is going to be recuperating. And you just need to wait for the knowledge of where it's going to be. Taking the opportunity to help rebuild Drinna for some of you, integrate into society for others of you, and prepare to get ready to commit war crimes for others. I'll let you guys decide who is who.
War crime facility.
Hey, you have to commit the crime in order for it to be made a crime.
Exactly. It has to be.
Murder wasn't against the law until the first murder.
Exactly.
It's never a war crime the first time.
Yeah, so Bernie can't get on Lily's case because she hasn't broken the law yet. The law hasn't been made for it.
Can't break the law, does exist.
If anything, they should be thanking Lily for like, oh, we didn't know that this was possible. We're going to make a law for it now. Thank you.
Anyways.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Nobel. Thank you for this dynamite.
Yeah. What do you call this nuclear fission thing? Anyways,
Tuesday.
Why is this thing called Saren?
the first thing you guys all do. You got to be a
This
real
big
nerd to know that
project.
one. That's
Asbestos?
the first thing you all do. You gather together the memory from Keyleth, placing it into a unique device that allows you to project this memory for all around you to see and peer at. Thanks to your old ally John having such a contraption available now. Well. Hey, somebody mute. I hear you crunching and it's very distracting.
Oh, it's me.
Okay. Sorry, ADD brain cuts out when people do that. So, as the confrontation between Keyleth of the Era Shari and this fleet master, your sibling, Indrina, unfolds, the storm tossed around the area that they are walking upon, the Admiral's form shimmering with an otherworldly brilliance, with a surge of power, his skin transformed into a resilient coating of glistening diamonds, reflecting the eerie glow of the Tempest in her draconic form overhead. Each step resonating with a metallic clink, his once vulnerable flesh now an impervious shield. A martial aura envelops him, a manifestation of his unparalleled mastery over combat arts. His eyes glinted with an unwavering determination, a beacon of unyielding resolve amidst the chaos of this raging battle taking place in Drina. Once across the battlefield, the figure of the Tempest, now shown as her draconic self, soaring through the rolling clouds, her scales radiating an ethereal golden sheen that matched the sun's dying rays, casting a regal silhouette against the tumultuous sky. Wings beat with thunderous force, commanding the very winds to bow before her might. As she descends with a resounding roar, the shimmering sky churns in reverence to the once half-elf who now embodies the primal force of the elements and dragons reborn. Just as the Titanic clash reached its zenith, a mysterious mage cloaked in arcane energies stepped into the fray. With a wave of a hand, a strange magic emanated from their fingertips, forming ethereal chains that ensnared the golden dragon. Keyleth's majestic form convulsed as the magical bonds tightened, her roar silenced by the unseen grasp of the mystical intervention. Frustration radiated from your sibling, his diamond-coated fist clenched in fury as the mage interference disrupted the epic battle that he sought so wholeheartedly. In an instant, the once unstoppable dragon was brought to a sudden, immobile halt, the mage's magic proving too potent even for the mighty Keyleth. Now, the Fleet Master, now robbed of the chance to prove his martial prowess against the dragon, turned his wrath against the mage. With blinding speed, he crossed the distance, launching a devastating assault upon the interloper. Each strike resonating with the frustration of a warrior denied the satisfaction of a fair fight. The clash of steel and arcane energies echoed through the storm, leaving the once serene sky of filled clouds disturbed by the strikes themselves. He only begins to hold back once a single shot from far away pierces into his back, shattering through the diamond-encrusted skin and drawing the first drop of blood he experienced this battle. the Fleet Master turns in frustration, grabbing the mage and dragging him by his neck forward, casting him forward, and the mage obediently teleporting him down to the location roundabouts where the attack took place. It is at that point you have to swap out keyless memory now for Zash's. Zash, lying on the ground, coated in her own blood, guzzling down potions as she can, with dozens upon dozens of soldiers scattered across the landscape, most of which burned, scorched, and shot. Heads exploded from one side and a small penetration on the other. You see her look over at the Fleet Master, who is staring up at the building where the shot had come from. And as he raises his hands, getting a very deep squat, ready to jump up there. Not noticing Zash, she pulls out her blade very quickly, swirling with a rage of magic, and twists this shot of magical missiles into him. The first one breaks through the diamonds, and then the rest collide with nothing. In that instant, the mage tilts their head to the sky, recognizing a command from somebody else. Grabs onto the Fleet Master, holding his shoulder, and begins to beckon him. We have our orders to leave immediately. Or I'm going to kill these fucking kids. We have our orders. And then they teleport away. The memory ends with Zash dropping down to the ground, holding on to her wounds, and the look of your other halfling assistant, your sniper, peering over the edge, looking more horrified than she ever has before. And then the memories end.
Can I attempt an Arcana check to see if that was the same spell Trent used on Satiana?
You may roll an Arcana check. Anybody else wish to check anything else out about this?
The body, if she's still kicking.
If who's still kicking, all of this was a memory taken out of their minds for you to watch.
Oh, so they're still alive. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to do like, a general insight on the Admiral to sort of gauge how, well, if he leaves any sort of weaknesses or vulnerabilities open during his style of fighting.
Go ahead.
Joey, can Lily make might be a perception or investigation check to figure out the identity of that mage, or at least kind of get the features of them?
Oh, no, you can get their features very easily. Just replay the memory and look for that moment. It's no problem at all. You get their features, but you have no idea who they are.
Zoom in.
Can I make a check to see if... Because I saw the bullet impact and breakthrough and the first magic missile breakthrough. Can I see if anything changed about his diamond coating between those two attacks? Because I saw that the second magic missile didn't hit, but the first one did.
You can roll an Arcana check as well, then. Lily, why'd you roll Arcana?
Oh, I forgot I muted at the time, but Lily was also going to roll Arcana for the same thing Miriam was.
Which is to recognize the magic the mage used?
Essentially.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if you'll let me roll again or at least help Tolsha for her.
Everybody
Arcana
gets
roll.
one check.
Dang.
For this. This is you guys reviewing the footage and trying to figure out exactly what was happening and trying to piece it together.
I'd like to flash Tolsha's Arcana then.
Very
We have a
well.
whole nother footage of the Trent Dragon fight we can do this with, too.
Also
So-
got it.
Let's start with you, Miriam. The mage's magic. You saw the greenish glow in his veins when he stretched his hand outwards. He was empowered with an additional dose of the Volstrucker serum. Something you've been forewarned about thanks to the other group. These mages can overdose on it, which temporarily invigorates them far more powerfully than they should be, but also diminishes their lifespan significantly. Sometimes even corrupting them and turning them into alternate forms. You've seen this happen once before already to Eyes, the first time that you, encountered him.
First time we encountered him?
I don't know if you mean eyes, but I think he means the bug guy.
Oh, yes. I apologize, that guy. The adaptation.
Yeah, I was
guy.
really confused there for a second. Wait, what?
Sorry, that guy. It would appear that his gimmick, as many of these various powerful Volstruckers have, is mind magic. Something to something to devastate an individual's mind. Like a cage inside of it that stops you from peering at it. The overdose of serum seems to have invigorated the spell to the point where even an archdruidess could not stand up against it. Based off of that, you think it was some type of force cage, some type of mind manipulation like that. I believe that's the right spell, where you just peer at anything around you as dangerous that can kill you, and you don't see anything else.
That's not force cage, but it is an illusion one that Prissa knows, I believe. I gotta look that up now. Mind prison.
Mind prison, yes.
That's a 9th, isn't it?
It's 8th.
Really?
It's powerful. Now, Lily, you assisting him more or less with your Arcana check as well. The one thing about this Volstrucker that seemed exceptional compared to many of the others is he has a quality like John has. He knows how to hide in the shadows. He knows when to wait for perfect opportunities. He's well trained in the arts of sleuthing, deception, and hiding, making him a far more dangerous mage that you've come across, knowing that usually people like your brother aren't very good at hiding. But this one seems to be. And he also seems to be more obedient than many individuals, accepting his beating from the fleet admiral, as well as still dutifully protecting him as if it was his charge and purpose in life. Next, Bernie, you are insighting. His fighting technique, he brandished weapons. He definitely likes to use grandiose strikes with a broadsword that he has, and he likes to take very large attacks and strikes with them. He doesn't protect his front whatsoever when he's attacking with his diamond form up. He seems to not be afraid of taking any hits from it, meaning he is either arrogantly confident or he has nothing to worry about. And based off of what you saw in the fight, it was only from the bullet from a good 500 feet away that actually hurt him. So you have a feeling his front is not going to be the side that is susceptible to damage. You have a feeling like he was maneuvering very quickly to keep his back away from Keyleth. He was deliberately making sure none of her flames would envelop around it. None of her attacks were hitting it. It's almost as if he does not see the strike coming, he does not become immune to it.
I'll immediately relay that to everyone. Seems like he's very weak in the back, then. Surprise attacks would probably be very effective against him.
Now, Tolsha, what were you checking again?
If there was a change in that diamond coating between attacks, since she saw the shot go through, the first magic missile go through, but the second one didn't.
What did your flash of genius jump it up to, Lily?
19.
19. So 20. because
Oh,
of
no,
your
sorry,
D4.
Sorry, I included the D4 already, so it would have been 14, then plus 5 for 19.
Okay, got you. 19. It's based off of perception. Zast was on the ground, and he was solely focused on... I'm forgetting her name, I apologize, guys. The sniper on the roof. And
Ingrid.
the first one hit because he was not aware. The rest of them did not because he was aware. As if he has to know the attack coming in order to become immune to it.
And we know magic missile is instantaneous, so it's
But it's multiple
that
bolts, so it's
splits-
1, 2,
that
3, 4,
split
5
second
seconds.
Well, if he's unaware of the attack coming, he can't protect against it. So then maybe something like darkness and silence would be his weakness.
One thing I will remind you all of is that mage seems to be their only purpose is to protect him. They didn't do anything else in the entire battle. They only ensnared Keyleth and then teleport him away obediently. That is it. The rest of the time they were watching his back.
So they're effectively a duo then.
In other words, as much as he wants a one-on-one, he's gonna do a two-on-one because he's a BS bullshitter.
Yeah.
You all also know that he's very frustrated at that fact as well. Clearly, he beat that mage within about an inch of his life.
Yes, and we could probably use that.
spell used to bind Keyleth was one of the highest tiers. I'm more concerned about how much power serum amplified it. That would mean the rest of his magics.
I don't know if Lily would need any sort of role for this. Could a remove poison spell take out the serum from someone?
Not a remove poison. It's a greater restoration spell, and it's a contestant of will between you and the individual. If they are willing, then you just need to beat a DC of... The other group would have told you, 18. If they are not willing, then you have to beat it plus whatever their wisdom modifier is.
I mean, I don't think that would work either, just because lesser and greater restoration takes a minute to cast, if I remember correctly.
No, greater
No,
restoration's in
instantaneous.
action. But
Oh,
you
okay.
have to grapple and hold on to them to cast it.
All right.
It's not as simple as I touched them. No, you don't.
Well, it's too bad we don't have anyone who can cast that spell anyways, you know?
Yeah. What? What? You have 4.
Pretty much everyone but me.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
I
Really?
can't.
Oh, you have 2 then. And a
I mean,
Dendu's a
unless-
fucking grappler, all right? Like that's.
I mean, unless Bernie's paladin remove a spell feature works.
Well, it works similarly, I suppose.
I think the restriction here is the fact that the ball sugar serum is a toxin actively within their system, and it only becomes magical once they channel into a spell.
Yeah, so before it becomes magical, you can take it out.
I meant to,
Theoretically.
for Bernie's bullshit remove magic.
Well, maybe it's possible to sort of use it against them somehow.
That ability
We-
also only ends a spell. It doesn't end spell-like effects.
Right.
I was making that mistake before, but go ahead.
If we, I mean, if we
Push
might
him.
be able to create some kind of poison or something that might target the serum itself and make it more volatile inside the Wallstrucker.
That would take a lot of time. We would need serum to figure that out.
Don't we have some?
I mean, and if
We've
anything,
never had serum.
if anything, I'd need at least a week to probably study it or something.
And God knows how long to counteract it.
It's just an idea anyway, but
Well, we do. Well, Barney, we do still have that dose of super strength that we could inject into the wizard that kills him.
Right. That's. I actually planned on potentially using that against the admiral.
With what we just saw, how much more powerful would that make him?
Unfortunately, your checks weren't high enough to know how much serum they utilized in that instance.
With the admiral, sorry.
Oh, the admiral.
You was talking about jabbing the admiral with that. You get super strong. But
I'll tell you right now, the admiral looks incredibly tough, very hardy.
I mean,
He's probably not gonna die to Volstrucker serum overdose.
No, we got the
growth potion from the giants.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, he'll definitely die eventually if you inject him with it, but he's gonna be. I don't want to say he'll be a Tarrasque, right? Because your party could definitely take on a Tarrasque.
I mean, we don't know till you find out, so let's hope
Jeez.
for Tarrasque, Joey.
Thanks for that picture.
Yeah, your
Does it
party
look-
could fight a Tarrasque. I've
Does it
looked
look-
at it. You can win. Like,
A Tarrasque with a wizard next to him.
but yeah, he'd become.
That's a problem we don't need right now.
Yeah.
I'm
mean-
thinking if we get a label that we put on the, like, we make a potion, so it looks like a potion, this poison thing, and then we put a label of potion of hill giant strength or something, and then just as I say to him, like, haha, now I'm going to drink this and be unstoppable, and then I'll fumble with a flask or something and make yeah, so I'll
Bernie.
drop it, and then he'll take it instead and drink it.
Bernie,
And then we
Bernie,
just run away for a minute.
we literally just saw him how he would. You would say that, and he'd be like, "Yes, do it, drink it."
He wants an epic fight.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wouldn't work.
Good call,
Honest-
Ice. I didn't want to just meta tell you guys that, but yeah, you're right. You're
The thing that would
absolutely right.
work better is if you
He
threatened
called
to.
out fucking Keyleth when she was flying over as a dragon. Come at me, bro.
I just imagine that awkward conversation where Bernie's just like, "Wait, really? Are you sure you don't want to?"
Hey
I-
guys, Yandish was saying something.
Oh,
sorry.
Yandish, go ahead.
Honestly, the thing that would probably annoy him the most is if you were in mid-fight and then you just drank poison and killed yourself, robbing him of the battle.
Well,
Right.
That would probably annoy him, yeah.
alternatively, I don't know if you realize this. People don't think that well when they get emotional. I mean, I know from experience, if you can get him angry, and that would be like, calling him out for how he ran away like a little bitch against Keyleth and, earlier here at Drina,
Yeah.
then that would probably set him off. And
Also, the fact that he's got a babysitter watching his back all the time.
I mean, I could send that to him right now.
These are all good notes. These are all good things to know.
Yeah. I don't think we should antagonize him at this point, Tulsa. 'Cause
Well, there'd
right
be a
now
non-
he's probably surrounded by allies now, and yeah, we'll just basically be giving away our knowledge of them.
Well, you saw the way he thrashed out. There's a non-zero chance that if we were to antagonize him right now, he would lash out at his allies,
I mean, that would be kind of funny.
Right.
weakening them in the process.
I mean, he wouldn't kill them, but it would be really funny.
Yeah, I think we'd
How does it
better save that for a moment where he's actually already more volatile. To sort of push him over the edge, as it were.
Okay, do we think we got everything out that we could out of this film? Or this memory, sorry.
this memory film.
I think so. I think it would be worth showing Keyleth and her other allies the fight that we witnessed against Trent.
As well as that maybe this fight, just in case that, when we go and do our thing, they might have to... We don't know what we'll face. We could be facing this. Our allies could be facing this.
This is something that I don't think the Empire knows we have the capability of doing.
Yeah, they probably know we have the capability, but they just didn't think that we'd use it.
Also, the fight between the Ancient Dragon and Trent, we should play in front of the Lyceum so they can figure out what the heck he's doing.
I thought we
also-
were in the Lyceum using this thing.
Oh, Thunderbrand's here? Okay.
That's what I was asking. I thought we were in the Lyceum.
If that was your guys'... Well, you were at the Lyceum. I wasn't sure if you're doing this privately or...
Well, no, because if I remember correctly, we were at the Lyceum, we teleported back because we heard Keyleth and everyone needed help, and there was an Archmage, whatever, presence there. We got there, the battle was already over, then we did the memory stuff. But if we're actually watching it, yeah...
I took the memory stuff there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And that,
If you guys want to say you did this in front of the Lyceum, war mages, we're in for that.
Yeah. And definitely show them the memory of Satyana versus Trent, but not tell them who Satyana is. Just say,
Also-
that's an ally.
Lily's also given everyone a lot of popcorn.
Oh, thank you, Lily. Guys, I didn't know Satyana was a fucking ancient dragon. I thought she was only an adult.
oh, you
Yes.
said that.
You see, we may or may not have
About that.
let her
Professor.
use a singularity to become older.
You fucking... And he slaps you in the face.
Ow!
How fucking stupid are you?
It was the best thing to do at the time as we were hunting down Eyes, the number one Volstrucker.
That was... the
Also,
thing.
Trent just showed up while we were talking to Seth.
Jesus fuck.
Oh, also, Eyes was apparently Trent's son, which is really weird, because he's a lich.
Right.
I have his head if you want to examine it. It's covered in mithril anti-magic piercing.
Wait a second. Which of y'all idea was it to give him the singularity?
You mean
I-
Satyana?
Looks
Yes.
to Bernie, I think.
We didn't give it to her, we let her borrow it.
Oh.
Yeah, we got it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
She doesn't
apologize
have
for
it.
striking you.
Thank you.
I'll admit my emotions are very high nowadays with the stress.
Yes, we only let her borrow it. She became an ancient dragon. I cast Holy Weapon on her breath and used a divine intervention to help her beat Trent. The fight's right here. Just See if we
Right.
can
Yeah,
roll
well,
it.
he's watching the fight. That's why he snapped out at you for that. That's an ancient dragon. All right. Is it possible to keep this one your device to analyze with a few of our other mages?
The singularity, you mean?
Your device that allows us to watch this happening.
Oh.
right if you promise we'll get it back at the end.
Of course.
And only if you promise to get a bard to make some epic soundtrack during this.
After the war, we don't want to. Maybe after. That's an idea. Maybe after the war. Anyways.
Have you ever seen? Is he vice headmaster again? Now that Lyceum is.
Oh no, he's the head of the War Mage division of the Lyceum. Right now, the daughter of the Lyceum family is acting headmaster, while the typical headmaster is on a hiatus from that responsibility, recovering.
on
Professor.
vacation in Marquette.
All right. So, we have our ideas. We're going to analyze this. You guys have work to do. We have preparation to make. The moment I have more information, I'm going to pass it along to all of you. All right?
Understood.
All right. Be ready. There might be a random mage connecting to your minds some point in time over the next week or so. Does anybody
Second.
need to be relocated to a location before we do what we're doing?
I call dibs on Whitestone.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
send you
gonna-
to Whitestone.
I'm going to help the rebuilding in Drina and help tend with the wounded there.
Very well.
Thanks, Tosha.
Of course.
Baron,
What?
where am I sending you?
Oh, I'm going back to Drina.
Very well. Adendu?
You muted.
I don't have much going on for myself at the moment, so I'm probably just going to hang around with Bernie.
You know, it might do good for you to be a little bit more connected to society. You know, first-hand experience in it. So, that'd be good. Miriam, do you want us to send you somewhere? Save yourself the slot.
No, thank you, Professor. I will remain in the Lyceum. There are things I think I need to look into.
Oh, before I forget, I'll get into my bag and pull out a bound up bundle of notes. Here's a copy of notes I have on the singularities we've encountered.
He'll push his hand, like, push the notes over to Miriam. If you can give that to the headmaster. I'm not responsible, nor do I wish to be, for that information unless it is deemed necessary.
Oh,
I'll hold on to Tolsha's notes while I'm in here. If I get an opportunity, I will pass them along.
It's only a copy. I saw the originals.
All right, perfect. That might actually help me with my research, Tolsha.
But well, before we go, Thunderbrand, do you have anyone set on to deal with this conspiracy we discovered in Craghammer?
We've already sent out a group of individuals to recruit unsuspecting, unassociated people into looking into it. These are a group of good people that are looking to help make Tal'Dorei safe from bad things and make a name for themselves.
wait,
But them not being associated with us in any capacity will allow them to conduct their investigation much more thoroughly without setting off any alarms.
I mean, you say that, but it sounds like you also literally described an adventuring party. And those stand out sometimes.
Sure, but does that stand out more than 4 or 5 Lyceum professors appearing inside of a town, Craghammer of all places, that none of us have stepped foot in over a decade?
Fair.
There.
Oh, Professor, one more thing. Before you send me to Whitestone, can you help me pick up my apprentice back in Zorzith? Kind of left him there at last minute to work on some stuff.
All right, yeah, no problem. I'll be your personal chauffeurs.
Thanks, Professor. You're always my favorite.
I know. I'm everybody's favorite.
Because you get shit done. You
Fuck
don't
yeah.
go the bullshit.
Do any of you even know what school of magic I'm the headmaster of?
I do.
He looks
The
at everyone
Lyceum,
else.
right?
What'd you say?
The Lyceum, right? I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I know about those schools, but I'm yeah.
Miriam would know, but me as a player thinks it's evocation.
It's illusion, if I recall correctly.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, because
He's the headmaster of illusion.
He seems very abrupt for illusion.
He is.
He was Prissa's mentor and stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That's why you don't see him as an illusionist.
Like I
I
said,
mean, that's the
you know
illusion.
Listen, no one ever suspects, the punchy wizard to throw out illusions.
Exactly. Like, not all illusions are magic.
Oh, wait till you guys see the scene of him fighting in this upcoming battle. It's gonna. Anyways, I have a lot of scene descriptions, not across the first session, just many of them.
Yeah.
So, he teleports you all around, boop, 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 sending you to your desired destinations. Now, we are going to go ahead and go on break, but the first 10, 20 minutes of this is me just pounding out our downtime stuff. Luckily, Ice, you already did yours. Thank you so very much for doing that. You get an extra inspiration. Thanks.
Yay! I gotta pee anyway, so I'll do that during my break.
We'll be right back.
Okay. Neither.
Yeah, feel free to start with that one.
We're back, everybody. Where last we left off, the party had entered into their downtime, utilizing as much as they are granted in order to seek out specific goals, trying to achieve specific things, and learn some more interesting aspects about themselves. A little bit of time passes. You all are getting deeper and deeper into your respective studies or rebuilding of your home, reconnecting with civilization. And then each of you, one by one, receives a sending from Thunderbrand. You need to get to your local teleporter. We need you up at the Lyceum ASAP.
All right. That's my only response.
All right.
Grant, we gotta go. Let's go.
Grant looks over at you. Where am I
Come
going?
on. Head in Lyceum. Let's go. Come on.
You bringing are you trying to bring Vexalia's kid to war?
No, just the Lyceum.
I thought I was going to sit here and keep working on things.
No, you're gonna come back to that.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I haven't been to the Lyceum in a while, other than when I took that tour. But they didn't really have an Artificer's Academy set up that was up to, my father's liking. So,
Well, now's your chance to look again. You're good to stay updated with current events.
So, one by one, you find your ways to your respective teleporters, and you are summoned forth to the Lyceum. Met by a mage who brings you in and escorted immediately past all of the school grounds, past the students who are beginning to enter back into their circulation of normalcy within the classes. Then you enter over into the war room. When you arrive, you see the other party, Argon Lyceum and his companions, walking out. Mirian already being here for some time, talking with him, and they all look at your group, and because I'm not going to roleplay as their characters, they will nod respectfully towards you all and keep moving. Once you enter inside, Thunderbrand crosses his arms and begins to get into a bit more of a contemplation.
What's up, Thunderbrand?
Well, we have received information. Trent is anticipated to be brought back to the Mortal Coil tomorrow. And thanks to some favors from individuals, they found out specifically where he is going to be regenerating. Inside of his estate. Connected to Rexentrum. We have taken siege of the Wuyan Gates. Tal'Dorei is currently occupying it. Make sure you guys zoom in for this because you won't see it otherwise. The map is too big. Oh, wait. Wrong one. Sorry about that.
The Wuyan Gates are still quite far from Rexentrum.
We've gathered up a handful of allies. And we're going to be having a war room at the Wuyan tonight. Meeting up with everybody who's going to be there and conversing how we're going to be transporting people around. We're not going to be able to take our full army into there instantaneously, but we do have a few allies that'll be able to transport a very large portion of our military tomorrow.
Alright. What exactly is the plan then?
something I wanted to discuss a little bit with all of you. Obviously, if I had to pick between your group and the other one to deal with Trent directly, I would rather you all be the ones to go up against him. Paladin, 2 clerics, a necromancer himself, and then a wild card.
Well, thank you.
Right. Well, why can't all of us do?
Because we need to separate his forces. We need to separate their powers, and I've received information that there's been a resurgence in Rexentrum. Your sister has been seen there.
Hail.
Aye.
What sort of resurgence?
Well,
Exactly.
it was only in passing, but she was apparently being either escorted or working alongside 2 Volstruckers when Jenna Irisor noticed. She is our ally in these matters.
Is that name familiar?
Jenna? I don't know, is it? Well, other than the fact that she's one of the Cerberus Assembly members.
Yeah. What do we know? What school part of the server she is?
Let me bring that up. Industry.
I
She
see.
was the Archmage who was responsible for things like Hupperduke, but what you learned recently was she was kind of pushed out of her control over Hupperduke while the construction of the city destroyer was created.
I see. That doesn't make sense. Shale wouldn't side with the Volstruckers.
I don't know her too well. I wouldn't make any judgments. However, it is important that we attack on multiple fronts in order to have this done. We have a great deal many allies that are going to be attacking the outside of the city. We already have cooperations from Archmage Uladan, that he's being sure that there will be a large free festivity in a certain section of the city, so that many of the civilians evacuate from the areas that we are going to be focusing on. We are sieging on Rexington, the capital. We're going to be having allies attack inwards to the city, keeping them dispersed. But as soon as we have one group headed over to Trent's estate in order to defeat his static gods, they are going to call in every single Volstrucker they have to defend him, which is where all of you come in. He reaches into his robes and pulls out a disc. The disc has ridges all across it and arcane etchings encrusted into it. It appears to be made out of a very foreign metal that is difficult for any of you to discern. However, Lily, based off of your recent researches, this is mithril.
Yahoo.
This is an artifact developed by a previous headmaster of the Lyceum some couple hundred years ago. If you place it inside of their teleporter, their magic circle, so long as it remains there, the Volstruckers inside and every mage inside of the Volstrucker program will not be able to leave through the means of that circle. And as we know, Trent does not like to teach his soldiers how to do that types of magic to get themselves out.
Right.
The reason we're choosing your group to do this. Firstly, we are expecting casualties within there. And out of every group of people we have working with us, yours has the best possibility of getting out alive, or at least bringing people back. In addition to that, if your sister is being held captive or working with it, he kind of bites the inside of his lip a little bit. Well, if it was me, I'd at least want to be the one to handle that.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for entrusting this to us, then.
Yes.
Of course. This device is going to require a powerful magic. Not from a singular source. Lily, we saw the schematics that they utilized in creating your body. How you filtered multiple sources of magic into one location.
Lily nods.
Would you be
That's
able
just-
to set that up on this so that you can disperse their wealth so one individual is not solely responsible for activating it?
Of course.
You need...
Grant, you brought my tool pouch, right? Or your tool pouch.
Oh, he's
Not
not.
your
He was not allowed into the war room. He's outside, just waiting.
Oh.
But yes, he brought your tool pouch.
Okay.
Yeah. He's still... He might be her son, but he is not somebody who's allowed into the war room.
Is their headquarters within their academy, or is it somewhere else?
We have the code for their magical circle that you'll be able to transport to. You have to go to the to the Solstice Academy first, and then you'll be able to use their circle from in there to teleport to where they keep their Volstruckers.
Is that the same one that we had the one Volstrucker teleporting to, or is it different?
Confirmed in the session that they confirmed it's the same circle I have. It's a direct line to the Volstrucker one.
Yes.
So I can bypass the assembly if I'm understanding this correctly.
Well, you can't bypass the assembly. They have their limitations to stop teleportation, but as he's getting to, would be expecting our two archmages from the enemy side in order to... we'll be expecting them to assist us in lowering their defenses to allow teleportation within their limits.
Exactly how many Volstruckers are supposed to be active still?
We don't
You
know.
have an estimate? Okay.
A minimum of 6, as well as the students being trained in the programs. New recruits. They increased the amount of recruits they took and lowered the minimum threshold to qualify for their Volstrucker program.
If I might make one suggestion. Well, I don't remember her name, but you'll recall that one Volstrucker that we let go a while ago.
You let a Volstrucker go? Who are you referring to?
I don't think it was. I think I know who you're talking about. She wasn't a Volstrucker at the time. She was Wyatt's character's friend. I can't
Natalie's
remember.
friend?
Natalie's
No,
friend.
no.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about out of the two siblings, Volstruckers.
Oh, the 2s.
Yeah.
We didn't deal with the twos. That's the under.
What's the other group?
I think there's reference to them, but
mixing that up.
I think you are, yeah. They did
Oh, yeah.
the 2s. You guys did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You guys interacted with the bald man inside of the Empire who...
Was on vacation.
No, that was a different bald man. The bald one who had all the weapons and blades who became intrigued with all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, their tracker.
Correct. You guys had
Yeah.
that interaction. So yeah.
I mean, we're probably gonna have
But
another.
you do have
enlightenment.
Natalie's friend who was recruited,
Right.
who
That
you all
John
met.
told her everything.
Yeah, we warned her that the Volstruckers were bad.
Well, I would hope at least that we don't have to kill a bunch of students. I mean, even if they are potential Volstruckers, they can still be hindered from being that. So if we had some way of separating them from the rest of them, that'd be good.
They will most likely defend themselves as best as ever.
Sure.
Then what? When they start to kill your companions, do you then step in or not?
Well, that is going to be a difficult thing to handle, but the students should be wise enough to not try to fight against you all. In the event that they're not, do what is necessary for our success. However, this artifact is not without its flaw. It will stop teleportation, but if there's a surge of magic placed into it by powerful individuals, mages, then it can be overloaded and deactivated. When you place it there, you have to defend it.
Right.
Right.
So disguise it with another spell of some kind?
Whatever you can do to defend it. But it has to be placed on top of their magic circle. Their teleportation circle. I keep saying magic circle because they're the same fucking thing, it's just mechanically different. It's a magical circle that teleports you, you know? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
or is it just magic circles? Anyways.
Right. Well, I guess we're doing this then.
It appears so.
We're always doing something.
So, am I to understand that Argon and what were the other names? Zalazar, or something like that. They,
Argan, Zurazar, Fordrum,
right.
the others.
They'll be doing the main assault on Trent himself then.
They're attacking his estate, trying to find out where the final phylactery is, where he'll be regenerating. If they're there before he is regenerated, they'll be taking the object and bringing him to a location where the objects can be permanently destroyed. And if
But-
he's already there, they anticipate a fight.
Right.
The other thing we know, Trent only has 3 more locations he has been connected to on Exandria that he has felt safe. Places that he has been in and around for long periods of time. The first one is his estate. The second one would be Castle Ulenbrock, where the king is. And the third one is the Volstruckers Academy. So if he tries to flee, that's another reason we're not just sending a suicide squad in to deal with it.
Right. Question: would forbiddance also help protect it in case the artifact fails? Because that prevents planar travel.
Roll it in chat.
Putting it in chat now.
We told him about the Tower of Trents in Tal'Dorei that we found with the Lich, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys let him be aware of that. But that wasn't an area that he would frequent. He abandoned it long ago. So
Doesn't mean he might not go back at one point, though.
the difference between forbiddance and this artifact is forbiddance can be simply dispel magic.
Okay.
Whereas the artifact, mechanically, you're going to have to dump 12 levels worth of spells into it across your party. Thanks to Lily, you're able to diversify the slots from individuals. But if they pump 12 levels worth of spells into it again, even a single individual who does that, it'll overload it and then be gone. But nobody can do that in one action.
Right.
And when they attempt to do that, you can counterspell them. You can stop them from physically touching the object. Your forbiddance, if it's within a range, they can just line of sight you and boop, disappear it.
Could... Well, that's a cast have an hour. I don't think we'd have an hour inside there uninterrupted.
I doubt you're going to have more than 10 minutes without the entire facility coming down on top of you.
Yeah.
Thunderbrand,
Yeah.
would you have any need for any of that napalm thing?
No.
All right.
Not that we know what it is. It is... Tal'Dorei and every one of our allies have agreed that that object needs to be found a way to be destroyed. It is not allowed to be utilized within the limitations of any practice, let alone war.
Well, is there a dedicated spot for safekeeping it for now?
Here, for now.
All right. Well, I have a whole portable hole's worth of it.
We'll take it.
Well, I still need the portable hole.
Right, sure. I mean, can I just give you a different portable hole, or like...
Well, we have a couple other things in there, but...
just sitting there soaking it in?
Well, it's well protected.
All right.
Except the desk.
All right, well, let me get a
The
few...
disc is not in it. The disc is actually still in that shack that we used outside of Trinidad.
You'll get it back one day.
Yeah.
Some random farmer goes over there, or fisherman, opens the door and, how'd you even... What?
That's one of the things Bernie did over the downtime. Just he and some others went to go try to, manhandle it out of there and, like moving a couch.
Yeah. Now, I'll give that disc to Commander Dark Tower as a gift.
So, we have to go to the War Council. Everybody.
All right.
Oh shit, I didn't transmog that over. No! What's the name of the other group's game again? Marquette Tuesday. Yep. What was the name of that map? What will?
Was Zast able to find that object for me, by the way? I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. That's a persuasion roll, correct? For finding a magical object?
It wasn't even magic, it was just the
It's fucking expensive enough it's a magic item.
Okay, yeah. I think so.
Okay. So she has a +5 to persuasion. Let's go.
Hey.
She did find it for you, but you're gonna have to hash out an extra 200 gold than it's worth.
Done.
All right.
What'd you get?
A
Jeez, what'd
thing.
you buy?
Damn, y'all don't like mystery, do ya? Holy fuck.
No, that's just me.
Isn't this the group that was like, hey, I'll do a Candela Obscure or horror themed?
Why do you think that is? We're inquisitive. We're asking questions, Joey.
Trying to get to the bottom of this.
I got it.
Oh yeah. By the way, this would probably be the time during the case where Lily takes out her new bag of holding, the one we got from that one guard, and just starts handing out so many magic items to her peers, family, and that's the one that I made, and they already mechanically put it onto the sheets.
You.
Miriam, what materials don't interrupt magical effects?
That don't interrupt magical effects?
Yes.
Pretty much everything other than mithril, lead. It's easier to name the ones that do because there's a shorter list.
Could you make a copper dome that would fit over that artifact? And we can just place this immovable rod over it so they can't target it. They'd have to remove the immovable rod to get to it.
Where's the dimensions of the artifact again?
4 feet by 5 feet.
Okay, so at minimum it'd have to be. How much copper would it take to make a dome 5 feet around and over about an inch thick?
What about turning that whole thing invisible? Is that possible?
The artifact itself will eat the spell slot
Right.
because that's what powers it.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be an inch thick. It just needs to.
It needs to be big. It needs to be thick enough that it doesn't get blown up immediately.
Could use some of our cooking pots. We haven't really used those. We've been surviving off rations.
Well, whatever your game plan is, we need to be heading over to the Wuyan Gates. Everybody's going to be meeting there to see what our responsibilities are going to be. Okay?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, but by the way, my simulacrum's geared up.
Now, is it another bugbear or is it Goliath?
That's actually a good question. Technically, it's based on what you are now, so it is a bugbear.
So.
It's currently.
He will open up a teleportation circle, allowing each of you to step inside, and then you appear within the Wuyan Gates. You see the occupied forces of Tal'Dorei soldiers all over the location. Many of them currently at ease, starting to take on a more relaxed role before taking over their shifts. A great deal, many of them also seem to be moving, setting up new defenses on the other side of the gate and attempting to bring forth a new leadership here. As you arrive, Thunderbrand, already walking ahead of you all, is headed up towards this very large tower in the center of this fortress. One of the most defensible locations in all of Tal'Dorei. When you look behind, you can see that there are these very large cages outside that have the remaining Empire forces that were taken captive left in them, being under constant guard and watch, stripped of everything except their dignity.
Except for Greg. Greg has his dignity stripped because he's a dick.
Sure thing. As you all begin walking over towards the tower, taking in the atmosphere, you start to see a handful of individuals who seem to recognize at least a few of you. People who have heard of your various exploits, soldiers that give you all salutes, nods of respect. This t-shirt. That's stupid. Anyways. Wandering up the stairs, you get over towards this massive war room, where all of you are escorted inside. and you have to wander past many of the records kept here in order to see the map that they are currently utilizing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking over, you recognize almost every face of individuals that are here. Satiana sitting at the far side and just being flanked by an individual who looks like one of her soldiers, but you guys don't recognize him as any of the people you saw there. On the other side of her is Braska, who, the hulking Furbolg barbarian who is giving googly eyes towards her, massively in love. Separated by a few paces is Keyleth, who looks relatively uncomfortable, and then Fordrum in his newfound form that Mirian, as of now, is the only one who's aware of. He's a tabaxi now. The fairy Capriccio seems to be behind him, braiding his hair carefully, and Lady Teresa stands besides them. Jenna, Irisor, and Athesius Uladan have projections of themselves here. Not them particularly, but some type of magical illusion where they can communicate through, since they are currently inside of the Rexingtrum. Beside them is a foreign individual, I believe to all of you, who none of you have ever met before. This apathetic-looking Yuan T, who seems reluctant and a little pissed off. Then you all pause for a moment as you see your father asked to be at this war room and council. Beside him is Zurazar. And then the second individual who is foreign to you all. Third. This very regal and noble-looking Marquesian individual who's very slender and androgynous in their own nature. The table is rounded out with Argan and Thunderbrand last. Thunderbrand looks at you all and waves for you to take an open available seat. There's only 5 remaining at this table.
We'll sit next to... Oh, well, I suppose...
Hey, Arden's the only person right now who knows who I am. This is already awkward enough as it is.
I'm actually gonna activate my true sight and have a look around.
Oh, fuck off, dude. Come on. You want to flex? You want to flex here?
It's not flexing, it's securing the area, you know.
Okay.
Just in case we have
Oh, this is going to be funny.
eavesdroppers.
You see Satiana's draconic form. You see this Marquesian individual's draconic form. And you also see, hidden in the corner, who seems to only be watched by Fordrum and Capriccio, is this unassuming woman with her legs crossed, sitting in a chair that nobody else in this room can see for some strange reason.
Yep.
She'll look over at you the moment you recognize her and just... Fordrum looks at you, looks at her, and just shrugs.
I'll look at Thunderbrand.
He'll look over at you.
How many are supposed to be in here right now?
The exact number? Now you're making me fucking count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I think 20? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Does that
9,
include
10, 11, 12,
her?
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 21. By the way, Lily, Undendu, take your seats, please, at the table. You control your own tokens.
No, they're purposely not sitting at the table because they don't know anyone except for the group.
Thunderbrand will look over at you. Undendu, seat, please. This is when Bernie cheats on his wife with himself.
The only one else
that's-
is good enough.
I just remembered something I forgot to tell them. They got the Slayer's taken on this.
Correct.
So Kuma might be involved in this.
Ooh, yeah.
Everybody, welcome to the wardroom. Oh, for fuck's sake. Where's the Rexington map? I need the Rexington map.
We've been there, so I know it exists. In
I
this game.
archived it because believe it or not, I have a lot of maps. As you all step up and a few introductions are made, mostly everybody else is keeping a standoffish point of view with most people. Braska seems to be like nudging you, Lily, to make sure he's the closest one to Satyana instead of you.
Sorry, I keep forgetting I mute myself. Lily is like kind of egging Rosca on with that, just like, huh, I'm closer. Me and her are besties now, kind of thing.
So, you all are going to be the main features of this ward that we are going to be having. We luckily have at our disposal Silrin, who is going to be utilizing, as well as Keyleth, the Tempest, utilizing their ability to let people walk through fucking trees in order to get outside of Rexentrum. We're only going to be able to take a portion of our army with ourselves. So it's very important that we are acting as tactical as possible. We've just gained control over the Wuyan Gates 2 days ago. But we need to be aware that they are sending forces down here as we speak. Which is why we are going to take advantage of the fact that we have 2 new members helping us. Jenna Irisor and Athesius Uladan. Archmages in their own respects. Uladan nods his head respectfully, and Jenna looks a little uncomfortable at that statement. They are going to be ensuring that the vast majority of the civilization inside of Rexentrum, the innocent people that we do not want to hurt, are going to be inside of the Tangles. You guys can draw on this map as much as you want in order to please keep it relative to the actual tactics instead of just haha funny words, hee hee.
Dang.
I know, I had to specify that because of you. Yes, that would be a lovely event happening where all of the festivities are free and there's a great amount of food and additional rations being handed out to people and entertainment as well. Security over there is going to be minimal by comparison of the Shimmer Ward, which we are also going to be working together in order to deactivate their particular abilities to stop individuals from entering inside. At least for a moment long enough for our 2 insurgents groups to infiltrate inside of. He'll turn his head looking at all of you, you all knowing Uladan fairly intimately at this point, and he smiles and nods at you all. And Jenna, whom I don't believe you all have a lot of interaction with thus far.
I don't think at all, have we?
Oh. No.
Do we have a method of getting into the city?
Well, we are going to be sieging the outer walls, where they have their protections. Those are easy enough magics to have eliminated thanks to our 2 archmages inside. thanks to the two of us archmages inside the Shimmer Ward, we will only be able to deactivate the protective barrier they have for a brief moment. In that moment, you will be responsible for completing your teleportation circles to get inside of the Sorceress Academy. That's going to be your guys' responsibilities. I'm going to be on the lines, helping to fight and take out any soldiers that are stopping us. And we do have a plan in place for the Shimmer Ward's protections after we get your two groups in there. Satiana, it will be my pleasure to attack these walls and destroy them. I will make it my own personal responsibility to do so. The Marquesian man raises his hand. If you do not mind, I would be accompanying... the Marquesian individual raises their hand. If you do not mind, I will be accompanying you on this as well.
Breen just sees two dragons staring each other down.
Mm-hmm. Bernie has a completely different show happening right now.
I don't mean to cause any sort of servant here, but I think Satiana, my bestie here, can take care of it on her own. She's got some powerful abilities. Like I said, trying to keep her Satiana secret.
This unseen individual just smiles. It would not be in any imposition to at least have one more ally with you, would it?
Well, I guess you'll have to see about... So she'll kind of whisper, hey, Satiana, if this guy's a powerful wizard or something, I think, are you going to let him ride your back or something? Or...
Keyleth whispers down the table, that's Shaman Sa'ord. Trust them.
I mean, I trust them enough at the table. Who are they?
That's kind of, Zuazar will speak up, if I may. They are the leader and generational protector of Marquette as a whole.
It's not common knowledge Demontalo's a dragon, right?
It is
it?
nobody's knowledge.
Okay.
Secret knowledge, just like Satiana.
Just making sure.
Well, no, theirs is actually a well-kept secret. There's a difference. Satiana, almost everybody knows. Nobody knows. It's like the barbarian who intimidates people into his stealth checks.
I mean, the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure that those two can see through each other's disguises because of the...
Oh, yeah, they can.
They're both ancient. Yep.
Yeah. This would have been
Look at
different if she was
Satiana
so
giving
adult.
Lily about this too, because
Bernie's
Satiana
just
knows.
feeling
what
very
Lily doesn't.
small in this room.
Insight of what dragon mating practices are?
Oh,
Hey, this is a brass and a gold.
No, brass is Jamon, copper is the
Oh,
is
right.
Satiana.
Tatiana is copper.
Hey, they just need a tin dragon in the mix.
I believe it'll be very reasonable to have these two individuals in charge of that. They are going to be attacking the primary protection they have over the Shimmering Ward, so that we may lay claim and siege into Castle Ugbrock. We do not want to draw too much attention to our actual objective. What we are doing is we are going to go into the castle, take as many people prisoner as possible, and ensure, to the best of our ability, we capture the king himself and take him alive. He is not to blame for many of the problems that are happening. It is common knowledge that many kingdoms fall to the whispers in the ears of the individuals in charge of them. So, we are not trying to be a hostile takeover. We are trying to capture him, and if every other group is successful in their endeavors, then we will be able to free his mind from influence and help make things right again.
I have something that might help with that for the team to do that, and Lily will pull out the 4-speed she's been carrying and never had the opportunity to use.
The what?
The 4-speed. It basically, think Pokeball, but not quite.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, it's you can trap a creature into a ball of force for like a hamster ball for a minute or so, longer.
That would
this-
actually be very useful, thank you.
And I'll take that out of my inventory because
Well, there is one thing, one additional thing I would like to raise as an issue here. I'm sure you've heard of the Empire's Church of the Lawbearer, and how we've discovered that that is actually a front for something else entirely. Are there any efforts being made to deal with that, or any plans in motion for the aftermath? I mean,
Lady Teresa will speak up. Yes, I am representing Exandria as a whole, and we are going to be working alongside your church as well as others in order to keep them out of the fight as best as possible. Though my primary responsibility in these matters and affairs is going to be of a supporting nature. We are going to be setting up a location for healing for both sides and for the regenerating of individuals and keeping them safe. But my church is also going to be solely responsible for any undead incursion that we must anticipate, given our enemy. I have instructed the other leaders of these churches that members of that church should not be persecuted for anything other than their actions. But the leaderships of those churches are to be executed on sight.
Is the Myriad playing any role in this? Or are they staying out of it?
Many of the people at the table kind of like look at you strangely when you say that word, and Keyleth's eyes go wide.
Simply because...
What?
You didn't just do what I think
No,
you just
no,
did.
no, no. I'm just asking, do we know what side they might be playing on, or are they staying out of this conflict?
They're the Myriads in the city?
I know they're in the Empire.
What the fuck is a Myriad?
Oh my god, Thunderbrand.
well, Thunderbrand would know because Prissa remember the big moment she revealed Myriad presence stuff.
What big moment?
When Prissa revealed there was Myriad presence in the Tal'Dorei, and that led to us finding Volvic.
Yeah, alright, so Thunderbrand would know, but almost everybody else at this table does not know. Another well-kept secret.
Miss secret councilwoman?
It's a need-to-know information. And, Bernie, you see the mysterious woman in the chair in the corner points her finger at you, and you hear a strange voice enter into your mind. The Myriad is going to be working in conjunction for your side. I've already sought to make sure that they understood their place. You may convey that to your sister if you would like.
I'll just give her a weird look and nod. Well, apparently, Lily, the Myriad, will be working alongside us for this endeavor. And Tulsa, I mean. Tulsa's the one who asked, not Lily.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm sure Keyleth and the other Voxwalker members have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, they have feelings, all right.
They'll deal with it after they burn the city to the ground.
With that being said, we have Sylvan here, which is a hugely influential individual who assisted us in protecting our realm from Vorvik recently, as many of you are fully aware of and know. Yeah, I guess it's my responsibility. Or, sorry, Ice, if you would like to be apathetic about the situation.
Right. Of course, it's my responsibility to do this. Just fantastic. Are you really gonna stay in the corner of the... Forget it. Fuck.
The important parts I will roleplay that you guys don't know, but yeah, this is...
Yeah, right. Just quick thing. If any of y'all die in this whole thing, don't come running to me. Except you, I guess, Mary. Jesus.
There's a unanimous look from many individuals for who the fuck is Mary?
Even the dragons don't know where she is.
No, her stealth check can beat demigods. Like...
I think the only reason Sylvan actually does see Mary in this case is because they do have a rapport.
Well, Mary wants to be seen by him. That's the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, allies don't hide from one another. Anyways. Now, we have two primary strike forces going inside of Rexentrum. The first one, we have dutifully and aptly given you the designation as the Siblings.
Well, I mean, we've actually taken the name of the Riptides as our sort of group.
Oh, I guess I'll just change all of my fucking paperwork then.
You better.
Find them, the Riptides. You're responsible for attacking into the Volstrucker's private sanctuary, their specific academy, turning off their ability to teleport out, however you need to, as well as ensuring that if Trent runs to that location, he is met with a swift enough attack. Now, the whereabouts of, the other group that we have given them the designation as Lyceum's group, after Argon of the Lyceum, who is among their ranks, not accepting the term leader. Their purpose is to break into Trent's estate across town in order to attack through his security, get over to where his final phylactery is, and stopping him. Now, they have been there once before, so they're able to get there again with relative ease. They will have mages outside on the protection detail, so it is of the utmost importance that we break through their magical protections around the Shimmer Ward quickly enough that we can send them their assist from Satiana and anyone else who might be in that. Shaman raises their hand again. You don't need to raise your hand here, Lord. Emperor, but whatever. I was just curious if Satiana is going to be their specific watchdog over the gate. Perhaps I should be in charge of watching over the academy grounds. Do you think you can handle that by yourself? I can at least ensure that nothing is going to try to get through there too quickly to their side.
Well, it seems to me that Jamon, was it?
Jamon Sa'od.
I take a deep bow. Seems to me like a very capable individual.
As he stares up from his kneecaps.
But there is one thing I would like to, we have an item in my portable hole, actually. It's been used against Trent before to somewhat of a good effect. I'm wondering if your group, Argon, what should I call you guys?
The Lyceum, apparently.
Right. Well, it's a mirror that's capable of absorbing any spell. Like, once. And then reversing it and releasing it out.
You guys sure you're not going to use that?
The big mirror. Actually, we could probably use that to put it in front of the circle. Actually.
That's your guys' whatever you want to do.
Right.
Also, we didn't actually get to use it against Trent. That was one of the things we were trying to do, but Tatiana moved too fast. It still has the original.
No, we did actually absorb one of his spells with it.
Correct.
We did?
On the
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah. When you were on her back, fleeing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this because the last time we pulled it out for use in combat, we were all... Well, we had our hands too full to really use it. It takes a bit of effort to use, kind of. Well, you need to be behind it and then use it at the right time, and yeah. It's kind of...
I will not answer for him, so you guys can DM him throughout the tomorrow or tonight to get it, to see if they want it or not.
Well, if it's okay, why everyone else in the group that I'm
of
offering
course.
it
Yeah,
to.
that's first.
Yeah, on loan, of course.
If it wasn't for the fact that we were just assigned tower defense, I would, but we actually have a thing completely forgot we had that mirror. That would be really useful in this situation.
In tower defense? Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it's more designed for defensive things, I suppose.
So Miriam's saying no?
Yeah, Miriam is voting to keep.
Okay.
Right. Then I suggest we keep it as well. I want it to be unanimous if we're sharing it.
So, the Lyceum family is sending support, thank you very much, Tim, 2 viewer inspirations each of you. What do you want them to say when they use it? Oh, also, you have to thank Otis, keep in mind.
Oh, that's right. Otis, thank you. You let me re-roll for research. I got 12. I'm sorry.
Hey, you didn't fail, though. But yes, everybody, be sure to thank him. Mark it on your character sheets.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Otis, you magnificent bastard.
Oh,
Forgot
that
I
was
muted.
Tim.
Tim.
Yeah, he plays Argon, among a lot of other characters in our community. All right. So, we know that we're going to have a defensible location outside of the city. It's important that you are aware of the exact whereabouts, and he'll mark it on the map where it is for all of you. It's roughly about 600 feet outside of the walls, where Silverin will be setting up his sanctuary, Keyleth will be setting up one as well, and many of the priests of the Church of the Queen of Ravens is going to be there healing and supporting as well. If there is a situation that arises that you need their assistance, you need to know where they are and prioritize getting yourselves alive. The only priority that is greater than your lives is stopping Trent. And I'm sorry to have to put it that way.
If possible, could we all get a death ward cast on us?
Yeah.
He'll cross his arms and look over at Teresa. I would be willing to spare, personally, 2 to each of the groups. I am preparing to use the majority of my spellcrafting to bring people back to life or heal them from death.
Understood.
There are many innocent people in the Empire who do not deserve death and have been manipulated by this egregious abomination this entire time.
Well, if it's 2 per group, I vote for Marion and Bernie.
I can get the rest of us, Lily. With your help, Lady Teresa, that will be enough to cover our entire group. Thank you very much.
Of course. Meet us in the morning before we leave.
Of course.
Then the other group will also have to decide. You can remind them which 2 that they're getting death wards on. All right, Darkrave? Awesome. Now, the last thing to go over is what types of threats we are anticipating. He will gesture over towards Agram, who looks around, not at anybody in particular, but just over the heads and around. Well, as some of you are aware, I am one of the few retired Volstruckers who have left the Order and survived thus far. I am aware of the power and magnitude of the serum. It's alluring to individuals to utilize it. However, if an individual does consume it, even if they are not adept at surviving through the situation, they will receive a immense power that is far greater than anything they would have achieved without it. I'm sorry, Lady Teresa chimes in, but whom exactly are you?
Oh, here it comes.
I am the progenitor of the siblings, or Darktide, you called them?
Riptide.
Riptide.
After the tavern that you wanted us to meet at originally.
He's their baby daddy.
I am responsible for serving the Empire in trying to manipulate fate as well as the destinies of these people here.
How pissed is Teresa and Keyleth right now?
Lady Teresa's eyes shoot up with a level of hatred you have not seen in the elderly archpriest thus far. How dare he be at this table? Lady Teresa, please. No, this abomination needs to be incarcerated. It needs to be in jail immediately. No exceptions. Lady Teresa, we need his influence and his knowledge on this subject. He defiled exactly what it means to be a person. He has gone against everything that is created for mortal kind, and he has subjected people to pain.
Lady Teresa, with all due respect, so you would rather fight this battle with him here than deal with the other battle that we've been talking about trying to deal with? Because
we are capable of handling this situation without the need of relying on such an evil abomination as him.
For what it's worth, my siblings and I are direct victims of his actions. You are not. We have I shall speak for myself at least. For whatever it's worth, I have forgiven it.
As have I. Though I do wish he was more open about it to begin with. And sure, he's definitely not the greatest of father. But he did what he did for a reason he thought he was just. And without that, I wouldn't be here today. Neither would Miriam, Bernie, or any of our other siblings.
Doing what you need to do for a reason you think is just is exactly what all of our enemies say. Lady Teresa, I do not argue with you.
Well, if there ever was an opportunity for him to redeem himself, this is it.
I do not seek redemption. I seek to make something else right in the world. I do not want forgiveness. I do not think I warranted it. And if it pleases you, I will gladly turn myself over to your church after we stop Trent. The moment we are aware of his consequences, of his fate, you are coming back with me. Keyleth will nod her head in agreement. Thunderbrand will do the same.
Actually, no. Can I say this is Sylvan, Joey?
Sure.
Right. So I don't know whatever the fuck that was. If we're done with all the drama, can we work on what we actually came here for? What you dragged my ass out here for?
We apologize for wasting your time, Sylvan. We will get back on track. Agram, as you were saying. Right. Anticipate within the coming fights, if you come across anybody with possession of ZODIAC Serum, they will overdose on it. It is important for you to realize this and potentially stop them. It is an injection, so it is not something they can subtly take. They will have to reveal themselves. Their arms, their thighs. There are specific locations in the anatomy that, Miriam, if you can go over where you could inject yourself quickly. You know better than I do.
I just go over, it's like wrist, neck, that one weird vein in the upper thigh.
Buttocks.
Yep, the ass. Not the crack, just...
Like the cheeks.
Yeah. Gotta stab them cheeks.
Art?
But yeah. No,
No.
that's counterintuitive. Oh.
Let me inject this fluid directly into my heart.
I mean, that's what they do with some adrenaline shots.
And if they're
No.
very desperate, they could inject it under their eye.
So,
I mean, under the eye, yeah, because of alcohol. Same as the rectum as well, because of the soft tissue.
someone just places it on the ground and...
That's not the smartest bunch. It's like, it's the fastest way to go in.
I need
I
these
imagine they'll
results
just-
now.
They'll just line up next to each other and do an injection train on each other's.
This is Joey's version of the peasant railgun.
Yep.
It's like a burlesque show. They all...
Okay,
But
guys,
granted, it's in a shield group coding, so they have like an AC super high, so we can't stop them.
Anyways.
Because they're all doing it at once.
Anyways. So if you see somebody with a vial, if you have pinpoint accuracy from range to take it out, it may be wiser to thwart one attack against the individual in order to attack their empowering resource. This goes for everybody involved. Be sure that you have ranged weapons at your disposal. They will utilize their spells to protect their goal. So if you try even just a cantrip, they will try to thwart that.
Right.
Keep in mind there are far more of them inside of the city than there are of your allied forces.
But these serums, they're kept in vials of glass, I assume?
That is correct.
So, well, if they've taken the serum before we get there, then that's one thing, of course, but we might be able to shatter the glass, destroying the serum, or at least making it harder for them to use it.
The glass is usually fairly sturdy. If you would like, he begins reaching behind him, and immediately Lady Teresa, Keyleth, and Satyana, just out of nature, reach for their magical focuses or weapons, and he slowly reaches down to take out a pouch, placing it down, and then unbuckling it to take out several vials, passing them down across the table for people to see their tenacity, how tough they are, how hard it'll be to destroy them.
Would a spell like Shatter work on them?
Absolutely. But yet again, if you are relying on a spell to take it out, you may end up being stopped from doing so. They will prioritize that as it will empower them far more strongly than they would be otherwise. And if you do end up having somebody take the serum, you have less than 10 seconds to kill them. Kill the physical form before they receive their mutation. If you do not completely kill them before that happens, then your damages dealt to them will be null and void as their new form takes over.
Will they be able to counter a spell cast from a wand?
He looks over at Miriam and, well, as your wizard sibling should have informed you, spells cast through wands are counterable, yes, but they have other unique purposes and benefits. You can also, since it is just a command word and utilizing the wand in order to cast it, shield it if you can move quickly, have a cloak of some variety to stop them from seeing the wand itself as it summons force of magic.
Well, I'm just suggesting possible uses here, then, if there are any wands of shatter.
Magic missile as well.
Right.
You could go an alternate route of animating objects such as ball bearings and have them target those if they're seen.
Whatever means you have to disrupt this, utilize. Lastly, inside of the Volstrucker facility, they have a great deal many weapons at their disposal. Securities in place that any Volstrucker is able to utilize in order to attack people. You should be at the ready for that. His estate presumably has the same amalgamation and setup. I would forewarn you that those of you entering into his facility, he will have Eldritch Knights protecting it. It will be very difficult for the mages of your group to handles them. A more martial approach would be necessary to take them out quickly.
The layout of the Volshaka facility, does it change or is it static?
The first floor does not ever change, but the higher up ones throughout history have gone in different compositions. Let me highlight GM layer. Turn off dynamic lighting temporarily. When you teleport in, the circle is in the room down here. Ignore this door to the outside. That's not actually there. That just came with the map. Right there, you are going to anticipate the circle to be present. They have multiple staircases. This short one that brings you directly into the facility, and these two along the side bring you to the higher levels, as well as this one over here. Once you arrive, you should anticipate that there will be several mages, law mages, at their disposal, protecting the location. Possibly on edge, if you do not move quickly enough. Simply do whatever it is you need to do without them interacting with it, and then you need to tunnel them in from this staircase. Stop them there. You can venture out and forth in order to fight them outside, if you wish, in an open area is probably more at their ease to control. I will leave you all on this map temporarily, just to...
So setting up facilities here to block them would be the wise ideas, along with possibilities to stop them burrowing from walls here into these side rooms to get in there.
If they have means of breaking through the walls, yeah. But these two side rooms here do not enter into the main facility. They are only for the teleportation circle and staff.
And where did you say we will be appearing?
Right here. That is where the circle is.
Right, okay.
Do you know where would they keep things such as scrolls that would be used in an emergency?
Their safety precautions are throughout the entirety of the academy that they have. The purplish water they have here is incredibly poisonous in nature. They may utilize that in order to infuse with certain spells and throw at you in order to weaken you. They will have their sconces of fire that will also invoke on specific command words a burst of flame and fire against you in order to harm. In addition to that, there are higher up rooms where the students sleep, as well as the professors deal with their own testing and examinations on individualized basis, have their own respective protections. But that is less consistent. Not something that I will be able to articulate to you all. Scrolls would be held on the higher facility as well.
Are there any mundane guards, regular soldiers, listed around the area as well?
Magical suits of armors, perhaps.
Right.
But not people. Everybody who is in the Volstrucker program has been trained in some capacity by Trent himself in order to be a Volstrucker. Either Eldritch Knights, like Wolf, or various mages, like the rest.
Right. Well,
I have a question. This operation, when is the time for it? Like, what is our countdown to begin at?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow at dawn, everybody will be ready. As soon as the festivities are in place, we will have Uladan reach out to me. And then I will begin instructing groups to start heading through. The first group to head through is going to be the soldiers, as well as a few of our allies that are attacking the walls directly. The next group after that will be yours. And then after that, it will be within a few moments of that timing, after you all have entered into your own facility and locked it down. We will know, and we will convey that over to the Lyceum group. Now, the people of sorry. All of that was supposed to be Thunderbrand, by the way. Agram does not run this shit at all. It's hard. I'm switching between so many accents. It's
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Now, it is very important for me to point out to many people, the people of the Empire did not ask to be manipulated. They are not at fault for their deception. Liches are incredibly powerful creatures and entities. We will try to spare as many lives as possible. But we need to know that even if the entirety of Rexingtram needs to fall in order to ensure the permanent destruction of that Lich, we have to do that. His existence tips the balance of life too far. You all understand?
Understood.
Yes.
Everybody, sleep up tonight. Go to whatever quarters you can magically summon forth for yourselves, and if you need a tent, just ask. In the morning, we go to war. Thunderbrand takes a step away and begins walking out. Immediately followed by the most level-headed people in this room, in order. Oh, I have to zoom back in, back out, back in, back out. God, I hate these large maps. Satiana, Jaman Saord. Then after that would be Agram, Lady Teresa. The two archmages of the Empire, their illusions disappear. Then the other group leaves, and it is just you all and Mary remaining.
We don't know about
And
Mary, though,
and
except...
Silverin. No. Bernie knows Mary is there.
Oh, no, I was gonna say except Bernie, but yeah.
I'll look at her and just, excuse me, but who are you?
Silverin would look over.
That would be Mary. I can't remember. Mary von Pontifex.
Sounds immune.
Do them pointing it out reveal her to everyone else?
She will choose to be seen, yes.
You gonna finally say something, Mary, or are you just gonna stand there being you?
Well, as I already informed the other group, I work for a particular organization nowadays. And I just need to be present to make sure that things don't go too awry. We, my organization, are invested in your success, your side of the war.
Well, it's certainly potent group of individuals you've got here. I mean, there's us, there's Argon's group, there's the Lyceum Archmages, there are 2 dragons, and, well, yeah, I don't know what else.
Do we have a name of this group that you're invested in? That is invested in us?
You do not.
If I remember correctly, if they don't tell you first, it's one of those situations where what was the word you told me? If you told me you'd have to kill me, that one?
More or
That
less.
sounds like a very silly motion.
Well, it's not really, I wouldn't worry about that so much because I'm just not going to tell you.
Well, I guess we'd better go and ensure we have a good night's rest then. Maybe we could get one of those hero feasts going tomorrow.
I was going to say, if we do it tonight, since we're doing it at dawn tomorrow, it lasts for 24 hours.
Oh, and Joey, quick question: how possibly I could cheese this a little? Lily's spell storing item, you know, the one that I used to cast aid like so many times. Same thing with Gwinsky. It refreshes on a long rest. Could I theoretically, and since aid lasts 8 hours, could I theoretically,
Oh my god.
during the 2-hour break of a long rest, if you keep guard, not doing anything much, cast that, and then when I wake up, have it refreshed as a different spell?
I'm gonna say no. If you're gaining the benefits of the object, keep the object. The magic fades away just as all of your other things do.
Yeah.
The moment you try making a new infusion, the old one goes away. Same thing.
So if I kept it as the same spell, then it would work.
Yeah, of course.
Interesting.
Well, all of you, I must say I am impressed by what I've heard about your group. Not going to lie, towards the beginning of your adventuring, my organization was very curious about you when we found out any information whatsoever. And it wasn't my responsibility, but we had people watching you in case you deviated to a wrong path, and we decided that the world was better off without you.
Wow, thanks. That's so encouraging.
You're still on the potential list.
Thank you.
The other 3, however, when an individual is fate-touched, typically speaking, it can go one of 3 ways. We're glad that it is going the proper way.
I figure the other way, of course, is one of evil and destruction, but the third one.
Oh. Third one is arguably more dramatic but less climactic. Their life is cut short.
Yeah.
Well, seeing as you seem to be very well informed, do you know anything about what's happened with Shale? What they're planning with her?
I'm not supposed to intervene past what I am asked to intervene for. However, I believe this information that you seek can be found. I could give it to you, but I would require something in return.
Such as?
We got a lot of gold.
That's no object. What I require is the use of your group in the future. if there's an unseen situation that I am asked to handle, and I feel like me by myself is not going to handle it very well, I call forth you all. Just so you're aware, this is only the first time that my organization is intervening in the last 3 years, and previous to that, at least 50.
So you're saying the whole deal with us?
That was the
Didn't
last
count as-
one. Be glad that you didn't sign up, Sylvan.
Yeah, I could already see the little things ahead of time. Tried to tell you not to.
I have my reasons.
Right.
Debate
well,
it.
I can't speak for everyone, but it seems reasonable enough to me.
Well, I mean, I don't think we should promise on Adendu's mention, because Adendu, you are this. How do I say this? This is sort of a family matter, and I don't want to rope you in on something, but we've already been, like, out there killing, trying to survive, and we do just about anything for family at this point. So if this helps Shale, then I think it's worth it. I mean, I would accept the deal.
Take some time to discuss amongst yourselves. I'll be here, and whenabouts you need me for your answer, just simply ask for Mary.
Mary, that's a bit far. We have just already met.
Oh, darling.
Sorry, old habits die hard.
I understand completely. I would be infatuated with myself as well. Frequently, I am. Anyways, she'll stand up from the chair and begin walking past you all. Sylvan, if I may speak with you privately.
I already. All right, this is about something else instead of my girlfriend. All right.
So the two of them walk away.
That guy has a girlfriend.
Dang it! I was gonna try to set him up with you, Tulsha. I'm sorry.
Head cannon. Do you need the phone?
I mean, technically speaking, Tulsha, I mean, just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score. No, that's wrong.
What was this about 2 dragons, Bernie?
Oh, well, there's Satyana and that, what was his, Jaman fellow?
Jaman Saud.
And immediately Bernie's shadow pops up and cuts his head off.
Jamon comes out of the shadows. So you've learned my secret, have you?
Looked like, no, like a brass dragon, I think, maybe.
Let's add this to another. Let's just add that to the list of things we're never allowed to talk about again.
And is everyone a dragon now? Why can't I be a drag? No. You know what? I'm gonna work on that.
Drag queen.
Oh.
Make a
Bernie,
dragon. Let's go.
I like
When
it.
when I'm a dragon, I'm going to mess with you so badly.
Well, dragging them through the mud.
Don't be such a drag.
Oh, I don't like
This conversation is dragging on and on.
Right. Well, yeah, I suppose we should, go and get some rest then. And,
Bernie,
yeah.
your opinion as a paladin of the Lawbearer. Do you really think our father needs to be punished even more for what he's done? Considering he has imposed himself in self-isolation away from the world, for years thought he was a failure, and
Well, I see your point, but there should still be some sort of official sentence, a verdict, if you will, on
Well,
the matter.
May I ask why?
Well, because he's not above the law.
Which is sleeping with other women?
He broke the laws of space and time and the
Right.
universe itself.
Yes, this is not just the laws of men, this is the laws of gods.
And they don't break the rules themselves?
Only when
Not-
it's convenient to them.
not to mention,
Lily.
She says that more like sarcastically than anything, but you know.
You were the convenient one.
Actually, this is a question. Here's actually a question. Is a Dendu old enough to know what the laws are?
Nope.
Okay. Figured I'd ask.
the reason I ask is because I think his self-isolation for years of basically solitary confinement of not letting anyone else in is a punishment far greater than death.
Maybe, but it's not my role to judge on that.
Is it not as a paladin, though?
In this
You
specific-
are the extension of your God's will in terms of holding their doctrine.
Yes, but this is something that is in many ways greater than just a single breach of mortal laws. This is something that concerns something more fundamental. And
If anything, him fondling around with other prospect of species. If you weren't born, then you wouldn't be here to stop them.
What were you saying, Bernie?
You speak about laws and orders, but what if this is the law and order?
Bernie, what were you saying?
well, what I'm suggesting is that this needs to be judged by someone who has more wisdom than me, more insight and more a greater grasp on the whole divine aspect of it.
Do you remember why he said he did it in the first place?
Not entirely.
To fight Trent. From the very beginning, he tried to bring forth champions that would combat this great evil that had been laying undiscovered for eons.
Well, yeah, that's true. And then, in that case, I suppose there might be a case for extreme circumstance requiring extreme measures.
If only there was a way you could speak to someone who might understand the law, you know, to reach out for guidance.
I sense a bit of sarcasm there.
I'm not immune to that myself, but yes, sarcasm. If you're ever lost, you have someone who's willing to listen and offer guidance.
Congratulations. That was a Dendu's first in-character sarcastic remark.
Right. Well, I'll have you know that I pray to the Lawbearer for that exact thing every morning and every night.
Then ask her tonight.
I mean,
Ask your god if what he did, supposedly breaking the laws to catch an evildoer who is broken even more, if his self-isolation, his willingness to face any punishment as a result of it, is worthy enough for him to be spared and given another life. Another chance to be better.
Are you talking about reincarnation there?
If needed. But I don't want him to be damned for his actions. Because
I doubt that will happen.
I don't know. And I don't want him to be confined to a cell for the rest of his life, rotting away somewhere. He should have a chance
I agree.
to
but
live a life without Trent's influence hanging over his head and without risk of being hunted down by every Volstrucker for his mere existence of being able to leave.
I agree, but all I'm suggesting is that there should be a trial where all this is measured against each other. His intentions, his acts, whether he was forced to commit them or not. It's something to bring up later.
It's something that needs to be said and done. Because this needs to be something done by those who are fair and impartial. There are those who... I could see it in the eyes of some of them there that they simply wanted him dead for the fact he did it in the first place.
I saw that as well. But the reason for such a trial is also to bring forth as much evidence both for and against the individual as you can. And I'm certain that quite a few of them will be swayed by knowing a lot more than they currently do.
Yeah.
Also, the reason why I don't want to be in charge of doling out his judgment is because I'm probably not impartial myself, even though I would like to be.
And what would you judge him as then? As an individual, as yourself?
Well, I would think I would judge him to do what he's already trying to do, and that is rectify his wrongs and also prevent others from committing the same sort of mistakes, same wrongs.
So servitude. Which
Well,
is
that is not
highly
the same
better
as
than a
servitude.
jail.
You say servitude. I think what you're trying to say is redemption in this case, because, I mean, come on.
If someone like myself can be redeemed, surely he can as well.
Redeemed to who?
Well, it seems like to himself most of all, so...
That's the hardest form of redemption.
He said himself that he feels that he doesn't deserve forgiveness or redemption. And one way, or one of the steps to redemption, is to realizing that you are actually deserving of it.
And I think part of that is... Sorry, go ahead.
I said Otherwise, what's the point?
And I think part of that is from our last conversation we had with him, where we pointed out that in his fervence of becoming excited at the fact that everything worked, that he was sounding like Trent, and I think that scared him. I think he's scared that the knowledge and skills that he has could lead him down that road, but I don't feel like that's the kind of person he is. He chose an action that went against the laws of the universe to try and stop something that he thought was wrong. Same action, different path. Just how necromancy could be for good or evil. So can the things that Trent has done. He chose to do an action for good while Trent chose it for evil. And I think that's the difference. It's all about intent.
Sure, but the acts you do need also to be, well, you can't blame everything on intent.
No, but you can blame it on Trent.
What were you saying, Bernie?
Well, as they say, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and there's a reason for that saying. Good intentions can lead to evil acts. And the acts themselves are what must be measured.
You're not wrong.
And while I am a paladin of the lawbearer, yes, that does not mean that I am always in favor of punishments. Maybe I was at some point, but I was more angry when I was younger.
A year ago.
It's just that, well, sometimes punishment can lead to the opposite results that you want. It may breed resentment, foster anger in those who receive it, which in turn can cause them to do more things that you would then need to punish, and it becomes a cycle.
True. And I can definitely tell that you have done things, Bernie, that have changed your mind in many ways. And I can think of two involving myself. Remember when I told you who I used to worship? That day when I asked you to promise on your oath as a paladin to not think less of me.
Right.
When I told you that day, I saw you grip your sword and have an internal struggle of what to do. I knew that there was contemplation for you to strike me down right then and there, because that is what your order demanded. But I trusted you as a brother to not do that. And then when we were heading to the Shadowfell and we found out that the curse from the Transmuter Singularity, I saw that doubt in your eye of, was everything I had done simply because of the curse and not true regret? I saw you fight with yourself then. But look now. Can you say that you regret those choices?
No, I can't. You have to understand, I also swore an oath. Not an official oath, like my paladin oath, but an oath to myself that I would do all I could to protect and defend my family. And by the time that it was revealed that you were formerly a worshipper of that guy, I had come to see you as family. So the struggle was about my very own integrity, or which oath is worth more? The one to destroy followers of Zahir, or the one to protect my family? And, well, you know the answer. Which one I landed on, at least.
Yeah. And we must think the same thing of our father, of what was stronger to him. His oath to the Volshuckers, or his dedication to take down Trent, even if it damned himself. And he chose damnation to do what he thought was right.
Right. Well, if anything, we will do our best as witnesses during that trial, which I will insist on.
Thank you.
So, on this note, you all do know that the sun is descending and there's about to be a lot of rest that is needed and perhaps a lot of tension stopping it from happening in your near future. Retire to your rooms.
Do a quick hero speech before everyone goes to bed, just because it lasts for a long enough time.
Very good.
And also, we've probably had a short day as well, because we woke up on the other side of the world, kind of.
True. Yeah.
Let me roll the 2d10.
Everybody's hit point maximum goes up by 11 for this coming day.
And quick question, guys, for the spell storing item, what do you think I should do? I could do aid again to give us that nice, juicy little HP boost, or I could do other spells like invisibility.
Can invisibility work on objects?
Good question, Joey. Does invisibility work on objects?
Roll the spell. Reading the spell explains the spell.
That's a good point. A creature.
One thing I want to do while we have the time to prepare a little bit, I want to go out outside somewhere and just find a big boulder and get that into the bag of holding. The portable hole, I mean.
Okay. When you say big boulder, like that's a nice boulder, size boulder, or?
Like a boulder that would be difficult to move.
So like, in freedom units, 200 pounds?
600 pounds?
Okay. Roll me your survival check to find one. That's a big boulder.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you find one. Yeah.
it's a rock.
Also, Tim has decided that when you use his inspirations, you have to say congratulations on attending a third-tier college of magic to use it.
All right, let me...
I posted it in the Sunday group Discord.
What was it? Congratulations
on attending a third-tier college of magic.
All right.
So, Miriam, Ringo,
What?
if he attempts to carry the object, would that turn it invisible? Because the way that Lily said there, if they're wearing or carrying it, is it invisible?
So
5 feet by 4 feet. He's not carrying that thing. And Familiar's gone.
First off, yes, he's a tiny creature. Second off, did they specify whether or not the artifact needs to stay on the circle after it's charged?
Yes, it has to stay there.
Okay,
Quick,
so it's stationary.
You cannot allow them to physically move it, and you can't allow them to imbue it with enough magic to overload it and destroy it.
Joey, quick question too, because I remember you mentioned it had to have 12 levels of magic in it.
Yes.
Could I potentially charge it using my spell storing item?
That would be all of the charges of your spell storing item.
Really all of it? Because I can use it 10 times. That's
10 seconds or 10 firsts?
No, it's so 10 times, and it can be a first or second level spell. So if I do a second level spell, that's 2 levels of spells 10 times.
Oh.
I'd use 6 charges of it, but that's.
Oh yeah, you would have to use 6 charges. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then that's.
Artificers beat a lot of magical bullshit.
Yeah.
And it be underneath the magic circle.
You can't be underneath a magic circle.
No,
magic
that's a
circle
floor. It has to be touching the magic circle on the magic circle. It's tower defense.
So guys, if you can give me 10 minutes, I can private sanctum it and make it invulnerable.
If you can get 10 minutes.
If I can get 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And does
If
magic?
only we had an item that could store spells somehow. Sorry, the sass.
The sass is
high.
strong this week.
Actually, that's a good question. Do spell storing items negate the cast time?
You're using the spell on the item, so you're doing it there and then. It's just holding there.
Well,
until
the
you use it.
spell storing item might specify a spell that requires an action or a bonus action or something like that. Because usually when people pay attention to the balancing of their games, they pay attention to that specific wording.
What if I don't want to pay attention to the balancing?
Too damn bad!
Shit.
But anyways.
A question about the mirror. How long can it keep a stored spell for?
Indefinitely.
Oh, okay. So let's fill it up with something before we.
It's got Trent's spell, remember?
No.
Yeah, it does.
We used the stored spell on a Volstrucker, and we caught whatever Trent was throwing at Setiana and us.
Yeah, but.
So it's probably an AoE.
I think you guys used that in the fight against Ice, did you not?
We never were able to deploy it.
Oh, yeah, you brought the mirror out, and then the blind deaf dude was...
He did find it the whole time.
So it still has that then.
Yeah, it still has that spell in it.
Alright, well that could be useful.
Yes.
Do you have the animate object spell, Miriam?
No.
Animate the mirror.
Also, Ring of Spell Storing treats the spell in it cast as if you were casting the spell, so it would still take 10 minutes.
There you go.
Okay, dokie.
If we could find an animate object scroll, we could have the mirror circle around the artifact and protect it from any magic being cast at it.
I'm thinking to dump this 600-pound boulder on top of the metal disc and then just leave it there.
Do we have like a rod of removability?
Yes, a movable rod.
All right. Well, while you guys take a week to decide what it is you're going to do, we're calling the session here this week. I got to piss really bad.
All
Players,
right.
thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you all had a great time. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.